right, good evening, everybody. So today is the last day of is the day TV and the last day of the AI powered car diagnostic training, and today being the last day, meaning we are not just going to look at how we have looked at several applications of AI. Like you guys must have already known, we have looked at how to work with Fort Code with AI, and we also looked at the intro into live data, what are live data, how we use it. Yesterday, we did practical scenario on using Fort Code, live data, and vehicle profile model to be able to get more accurate utilizing AI. So we did that yesterday, and we did a generic application that can work for any type of scanner you use and any type of AI model that you decide to use. So we did that yesterday, and so moving forward, according to our schedule, day one, like I said, we introduced AI in auto diagnostic. We did OBD architecture. I explained this. We read Fort Code, we did live data. So we did live demo setup, which we did, and Q&A. Yesterday we did hands-on GOBD diagnostics, real-time sensor monitor interpretation of live stream, and fault pattern recognition with AI. All this we did yesterday. So today we are going to conclude vehicle health assessment, generating client reports, model troubleshooting, and modern troubleshooting workflow, and then certification and the next step. So quickly, now how so okay, we have still few here. I was thinking maybe our numbers have increased. So I would like to ask anybody here, if you are with me, I will open the floor so you can unmute your mic and talk, right? So what do you do when you have a vehicle, when a vehicle comes to you? What's the first thing you do? We mean a fault that you don't know the cause. You know some cause, you know the fault. Like if I bring my vehicle and I'm saying, okay, the brake pad is bad, we want to change that. That's not gonna. You don't need to diagnose. Or we just said, okay, the light is not working. We want to change that. That you don't need to diagnose. But in a case or in a situation where the fault is new, a situation where the fault is new, what is your first approach? Anybody? If you are in a situation you are about to diagnose a vehicle where the fault you are just seeing it for the first time, or it's something you are not used to, let's always learn to mute ourselves.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, you can.
Uh, can I go now, sir?
Yeah, you can go on.
I think the first thing to do is first listen to the customer complaint,
Okay.
because when the customer bring a car with a fault, you have to first hear how did he feel about the car, what is he experiencing.
Yes.
So from there, I think you have the knowledge, you have a clue of what can cause that kind of a fault. For example,
Yeah.
a car that is moving on a normal speed, but once it's reached maybe 100 upward, the car is no more moving.
Yeah.
It's like choked, for example.
Yeah.
So it's a problem that you cannot just decide on your own and say it's the plug, it's the
Yeah.
fuel pump. No, that would be a random let me say guessing. Let me
Yes.
use that word.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's possible. The technician,
Yeah.
as a technician, the person
Yeah.
needs to first insight is what is the cause. diagnostic machine and diagnose
Yeah.
the car first, because in this generation that we are, a lot of things can cause this kind of example of issue that I just give.
Yeah.
A fuel pump, it can cause it. A sensor can cause it.
Yeah.
A coil can cause it. A
Yeah.
catalyst that has been blocked can cause it. A lot of things can cause it. I think the first thing is to first diagnose. Then from there you can move further. I think from the diagnosing feedback, you will know at least what to do.
Okay. All right. I don't know. It's not muted. Yeah. Okay. Somebody is talking. Yeah, you can talk. Yeah. Can you join the meeting? Can you join the meeting? Sorry. Can you join the Google link? We're already in session. Yeah, join the Google link. Please, if you are not on the call, you can join the Google link here. We're already in session. Please, sorry for that obstruction. So I'm like, on the go. Please join the Google link. We're already in session. The Google call link. We're already in session. So if so, thank you all. I think they were listening from the WhatsApp call. So back to what you said. You said right. The first thing you do is to diagnose. That's very good. That's correct. That's a good process. Because of time, like I said today, we don't have time. So yeah, you have to diagnose. Yes, plug your scanner to diagnose. Now we must understand something very important. Diagnosis is not, or it doesn't end, or it doesn't revolve around your diagnostic scanner, your diagnostic scanner. So your car diagnostics doesn't revolve around that only. So some of us, when we see a fault code, the first thing we do is just to um diagnose the vehicle, like get the fault code from that vehicle. And that's not how it works. So give me a moment, let me end this call. That's not how it works. So like I'm saying, there are other stuff you need to know. Important stuff is to ask questions for the clients. What is the client experiencing? When did it started? How did it started? Where did he think it started? What are the previous repair the client has done on that vehicle? These are very important questions. These are questions that can determine the give you insights. I just listed some questions. What are the fourth symptoms? Form symptoms. Fourth symptom is what is happening to the vehicle. What changed? Yeah, this fault. What are the symptoms that are associated with that fault? Now it's very important you take note. Like this, we already used to fault symptom, but one thing we miss is vehicle history. Vehicle history is the most important thing ever, right? Maintenance history, very important. I will not say it's the most important thing ever, but apart from the fault codes or the diagnostics report, another thing is the vehicle history. The truth is free swim is a part of vehicle history because it is the data that comes up as at the point where those fault codes comes appear or emerge in the vehicle. So you want to ask a lot of questions around the vehicle. When was this change? When was that change? Now, in best practices, right? If you buy a foreign car like an American car and you are maintaining your car in a dealership, we're talking of a dealership. Maybe you buy a Mercedes Benz and you have been maintaining your Mercedes Benz in America in a dealership. Do you know that for every service that dealership does on that vehicle, they log it to a database? What does that mean? That they log every repair they do on that vehicle on to the vehicle VIN, so that when you go and pay for VIN checkup, VIN lookup service, If you now pay for, you now use VIN lookup, you search that VIN, you are going to see all the repairs that has been done on that car. That's why before you buy a car, you go and check the VIN, look it up, and see all the stuff that were done in that car. Why do they keep those records? They don't just keep that record because they want to keep the record. They keep that record for maintenance purposes. Example, if a car was accidented and some component was replaced or some component was worked on, and over time a fault came in with the history of the previous work done in that vehicle, you are able to easily have somewhere to look. There are some faults that will come up in the vehicle, you'll be frustrated. Like e.g., there was one vehicle, once you turn it on, it won't take some few seconds, it will turn off. The the mechanics, I went to the mechanic village to visit my friends, and so when I went to visit my friend, I was just we were talking, and so he was telling me, Maso, come and check this car. I said, that although it's not his car, but because he's my friend, I went to visit a part dealer, so they bought a lot of parts for him, but no one was working, everything was hard, and they become confused. They changed coils, they change everything, they change ignition coil, they change fuel pump, they change everything. Once you start the car, it's going to start once. Just click the key, in within 1 second it's going to start, and it's going to go now. They check all the wiring, change everything, change and change sensors, change and even change brain box or something. And okay, I think then they have not changed the brain box. They are thinking of the next step is to go and get brain box, because it was a mechanic village. It was easy for them to just go pull the part. If it doesn't work, return it back. Imagine that work was aside that kind of environment. It would have been stressful. Imagine you buy this, the next day you have to change this. Now that fault could have been was introduced when after the what is it after the work on the engine of that vehicle. The vehicle was starting well, but the engine was not, what do you call it? The engine was not working properly. So the engine was bad, so they had to take it to the a mechanic that works on the engine to overhaul the engine. What they call, they work on the top cylinder, on the head, the engine head, and they worked on it. But after working on it, that fault came in. They reworked on the engine, we grind it and did everything, start doing electrical diagnosis, doing, and the car maintained like that. But because it was not my work and I don't want to go and carry another person's stress on my head and Bristol, I just say, okay, Baba, see you later. I'm moving somewhere else. And I didn't get feedback. But the truth is this, that fault was introduced into that car during the time the previous mechanic was working on it. And it happens sometimes. We have seen such faults. There are sometimes I'm working on a vehicle and I just noticed something went wrong. I have to figure out, yeah, I miss it. Then maybe going back to, I will check. So that's why documenting repair history of vehicle repair procedure, repair history is very important. And when you document this history, it is one of the important stuff you need to use for assessing vehicle. Apart from the diagnostics report, vehicle report history. So a fault is in the vehicle, you want to ask the user, okay, what are the previous repairs you have done? What have you changed? Those insights can give you tips, especially for faults that looks funny. I could remember a particular time there was a vehicle I was working on. It was a Mercedes Benz, I think C 300. This was like 5 years ago. It was still very odd, and I was working on that car. The car, you just start the car will just be misbehaving. Sometimes it will start, sometimes it will not start. I did everything, I diagnosed. When I just put my scanner, then I was using Mercedes Benz MB Star 4. So that was a very good scanner then for Mercedes Benz. And it was one of the latest, I think then the latest version was Star 5 in the market, but it was not even available much in Nigeria market. So I was using Star 4. So I had it, my boss then gave me as a gift. So I had that scanner, so any Mercedes Benz problem I could solve it and I could do with programming. So at that point, I went to this car. They called me because a lot of the Mercedes-Benz mechanic and electrician then, because I was very good in diagnostics, when they have struggled for, they call me. So this was one of those cars that mechanic has struggled and struggled, and then I said, okay, go call computer person, and they called me. So when I got there that day, I plugged my scanner inside that car. I saw, Mercedes Benz. If you have done Mercedes diagnosis, Mercedes Benz have several models. So it's going to give you surplus fault code, like so many fault codes. I saw over 90 something fault code. If you do Mercedes Benz diagnostic, you know what I'm talking about. So in different models, across almost all the models, everything. And I was like, guy, what una do for this car? Una change all the part of this car. Because faults was coming from almost every part of the car. And it was not possible for all the components of the car to have fault. I knew there was a major problem. But I looked at this problem and it was not a brain burst problem. Because if it was a brain burst problem, there's what they call motor electronics. I think that's the module that controls the brain burst and the computer. It's called motor electronics in Mercedes Benz. So the motor electronics module was not having too much fault code. It was having a few, but every other module we having so much fault code. I started brainstorming for. So I went that day because then I was training some technicians. So there was a guy who traveled. I live in Benin, and there is in Edo State we have another city, Ekmoma. It's like another town in Edo State, but it's far from Benin a bit, like 1 hour to 2 hours journey, depending on so a technician, there was a mechanic who just came for Ekpoma to learn Mercedes Benz diagnostics in Benin. So he came and I was to teach him programming. He bought Century, just newly bought Century scanner. I wanted to open specialize in Mercedes Benz diagnosis and programming in Ekpoma. So he came to meet me. So he was going to stay with me for some few days where I would teach him. So I took him along because that period we were looking for tough diagnostics to be able to do. So I took him along and we went there. And for the first day, we struggled. And we couldn't do anything and I was confused. Then the second day, ha, I went again and I was like surprised because where do I want to start from? The fourth course were too numerous. And then I started asking questions. What have people done in this car? What have these guys didn't give me a direct history. And then I say, okay, what I would do, I have to start pinpointing each of the faults, to start checking each of the sensor. And I started losing many parts of the car, checking each of them. I checked this thing look intact. It has not been loosed, it has not been touched. It looks clean. Why is there fault code? Until I went to a part, there was a particular module that was lad and I opened the module and the module is under the passenger's side seat under the foot. So I raised the foot mat, I lose some nut, and I opened this thing. Guess what I saw? Over 5 liters of water, and there was can bus inside there. There were many modules. So under the passenger seat, there were a lot of modules, all those modules now, and connectors and many things. And as I opened it, look at water. It was like this water has been stored here for like how many weeks and so. And I shouted Jesus. Immediately I saw it, I quickly off the key, off ignition, then open it in and say, okay, let's allow this water to dry. Blew it off. And then what happened? As the water dried off, so we had to wait for like 1 hour. First of all, scoop the water we can do, dry, let it dry. Immediately the water dry, as I start the car, boom. It was like a miracle. Every fault wiped, everything. Oh, the car started once. It was smooth. Engine was running fine. And what was the case? Just that the car was flooded. And it was flooded. These people, and I asked them, so this car was flooded. Which day water? They said, some time ago, we passed inside water and the car sink inside ocean. But after that, we drove it home and then so it was flooded and this was the reason why you have bought a lot of electricians have worked on it, a lot of mechanics worked on it before I was caught because of what the data of that vehicle or the history of that vehicle was not properly stated. If it was stated by the car owner that this vehicle went through flood, it would have been easy. And then I wiped it, cleared the fault code. But there were so many other fault code that didn't leave anymore. And we have to address them. I say, okay, but at least your car can move now. You can start from here. Now, guess what was happening to that car? It was not that any component was bad. It was a safety measure. You know, cars like Mercedes Benz and others, when they have so many communication errors and all that, they can prevent your car from working because if it runs at that condition where there's water, where there's a lot of stuff, it will just damage the whole electronics in your car. So it just prevents something like that. So when those water left and the voltage and the cycle, everything was working where there was no like wrong conditions, it not worked well. So what am I trying to say? And this has happened several times when you now ask and they say, oh, some time ago we worked on this. You get insight. There was a day I was working on a car. Nothing was working in the electrical part of this car. From wiper to this to that. Then I just started my Mercedes Benz workshop. Then I started. That was the 20 I think 2020 or 2019 or so. I just started off. And then the first car was bought. This car was bought from they bought it from Abuja, but they have arrested like they arrested the mechanic, and my boss just called me and said, "Also, can you take this car?" So I said, "I can take it." He said, "This car is coming with police case, so these people need somebody that is good." So I took that car, and they told me this car uh, light is not working. What do you call it? Wiper is not working. This is not working. Music system is not working. Many things are not working. And as I looked at it, I just said, okay, sir, we need to buy this, buy that, buy that. I have not even diagnosed. I've not even, I diagnosed, I saw the fault code. I just said, we need to buy this, buy that. But I don't know the money. Just send money first. Send me like 100K. Let me go to the market. So if I'm buying this, I will let you know. I say, okay. And this man sent me money. And because I just look at this and I opened the system, the electrical system, and I saw a lot of stuff. A lot of things were not connected. So, okay, a lot of components in the electrical part were disconnected. Fuses has been removed from the fuse box, and I just went to buy fuse box. I think fuse. Then they said it about 200 naira. It was this thing with about 10 fuses. I fixed all the fuses. Look at all the connections that were not connected properly. Connected them, and when I did that, over 90% of that work of the things that were not functioning in that car started functioning. Music was playing, wiper was working, camera sensor was doing, many warning lights disappeared. Car was now moving. Yes, what they call leap mode in Mercedes Benz or some other car. The car will not accelerate above 30 um, um, miles per hour or 40 miles per hour. It will restrain you because of that fault. Once that fault has been solved, it can now start moving. So all those limp modes disappeared immediately. And when they disappeared, the car started working. Why am I asking this question? That took me almost a day of diagnosing, trying to solve each of these components individually. It was when I started looking at the whole system. I lose the wire and started looking, and I saw some things were missing because I didn't know. Maybe they have worked on it, they have not worked on this part. I didn't know that during it was definitely during when the previous electrician was working on that vehicle, trying to fix one fault, that I started what do you call it, started losing different parts of the electrical system, didn't connect it well. Those were what introduced those so many faults. And for us, if you are working on a car that they have worked on, you want to be careful so that you don't go and touch something that is you don't supposed to touch, so that you don't get it bad. So what I'm trying to say is that if I had had the vehicle history, if I had the maintenance, and I knew that this part should not be like this, I would have been able to keep guide. So it's not just for mechanic, but it's also for technicians to be able to have vehicle history. So the workflow is you ask about the history, you diagnose, then you can utilize AI and others. So I think I will stop here for this topic so that we can move and quickly um talk about another very important part, which is generating client ready reports. Like I said yesterday, generating client ready reports. I'm going to do a demo after now. Let me just talk about generating client ready report. Then we're going to talk about that. Now, how do you generate client ready report? A client ready report is not having a special document or a special format. It's just explaining what you did on the car for the client so that the client understand very well. Whether you like it or not, clients may not know anything about car, but trying to put them through what happened in their car, make them to trust you, make them to believe what you are doing, and make them to want to pay for your service. So it's very important that we must try to always send reports, send feedback. Okay, we fixed this in your vehicle. This was what we fixed. Send photos. Now, you may not be like some companies like when we do vehicle, we always send like a document, a report document, especially because recently majority of the cars we have been doing are for fleet managers. That's companies that have multiple cars. They just send the contract, we fix it and they move. So those are the work I've been taking off recent. But if you are talking to an individual and you do any repairs in this car, you want to snap the photo of what you change, what cost it, how you fixed it, the cost, and if you're adding price, add every price. I bought this 5,000 naira. I use 250 naira for my transport. It makes them feel, and I took this from my labor. It makes them feel more, how will I put it now? It makes the trust, the customer trust you more than when you say, oh, the parts to buy this is 15,000. They don't really know. They will say, okay, you charge them only part of price of part. You're not charging price of labor. That means that you steal from their money. Although Nigeria, sometimes customers, because they believe most mechanics steal, they don't pay except you steal from them. But there are ways you can report this. If we say we should use the American method or the Oyibo method, the way they charge and all that, it will not work in Nigeria because Nigeria is a different ecosystem. Abroad, the way they charge for repair, a lot of mechanics have told me when I complain or talk in international, they say charge per hour. In Nigeria, you cannot charge somebody per hour. Now you say it take me 15 hours to work on your car and I take 5,000 naira per hour. So because of that, 15 times 5, that's how much now? Or let's say 10 times 5. Because I work on your car for 10 hours and I charge 5,000 naira per hour, give me 50,000. And then the customer will say, which kind of nonsense? How much did I buy this? So Nigeria payment method is different. But one thing that works is when you report clearly what the fault is, the parts, the breakdown of how you spend the money, transport, your workmanship, all those stuff. It helps the customer to trust you and to give you more trust. So now I've been able to explain like theory stuff together. Now I want to show us a workflow. Um, I think I will share my screen again. Uh, so I will present something else. Let me just do this. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So wait. Give me a moment. Uh, Trying to share something. Uh, okay. All right. So you guys can see my browser Google, right? So uh, I believe you all can see this. Mechanic dot. I just open this also automotive. So a lot of you know about also automotive. We what we do at also automotive, we make car solutions, anything that concern solving cars, whether it's training, whether it's whatever we do, we just make it seamless. So as long as it's all about car maintenance. Okay. Now you can create account. When you go to this website, which I may send, let's just create account. Let's do the flow. So I'll just create account test account. Which email will I use? Let me use my name. Okay, let me use this email support at automotive.com. I'm going to write any phone number 123456789. Password. I'm going to put my password. So you can also download the app from App Store or Play Store. Sorry. So once I open create this account, it's a new account. I just hope I don't use this email. All right. So they are going to send you a password to your email. So I will not be able to share my email on the screen because it's a private stuff. So okay, I think let me check my email box. My phone is malfunctioning. I need to get a better phone. Uh-oh. What's happening now? Seeing, I should have used a Gmail. I'm not seeing my email. Okay, I've seen my email. So my verification password. So now I've dropped in the passcode. So you see, now that I've verified, I can now sign in. So if you sign in as a mechanic in Astra Automotive, these are your details. You can fill your brand, more about yourself. You can fill your expertise. You can fill the car brands that you work. You can select multiple, right? Your expertise, you select what you do as a mechanic. Are you engine, brake, electrical? You can select more, all the cars you work on. If the car you work on is not here, you can scroll down and go to others. You can write your years of experience, your specialization, just to give people like I work on um engine overhauling, your license number, your this thing, your license, hourly rate, how much you charge, your address of your workshop, the country. If you want people to track you on Google Map, your location, and then your mechanic license and ID card. We need this to approve you. But I'm not telling you how you can become a customer because once you on board as a mechanic, you can start receiving orders from a customer. But that's not what I want to teach you. So once you are done with this profile and you have saved it, we'll receive the information we approve. But that's not what I want to look. Now let's go here. If you are done, you can receive others. Okay, you need to fill this one. Let me just put I am a mechanic. Just fill anything. You need to fill it before you move forward. Okay, I am a mechanic. Expertise, engine, and what? Let me just put in engine. Okay, let me put engine, brake, and suspension. I think that's the average thing most mechanics do. Then car brand, I'll just put Toyota. I don't have time to do many things. Years of experience, 10 years. This one I just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. Hourly rate 500, 5,000 naira. Address Benin City. So unfortunately we have to fix this before we move. Country Nigeria, we're in Nigeria. Latitude, I'll just feel what I have here, 6.5244. 6.244. Longitude, I need to feed this thing to move to the next level. That's the problem. Longitude, oh, I didn't write this way. Benin City. Longitude of 3.3792. 3792. So state optional, so I will leave that. City, Benin. Oh my god. Benin City. Postal code, I'll just write any code I like. I don't have this one, I'll just save profile. Hourly rate must be between which kind, okay, just fill any number, but this doesn't mean they must pay you this. So, okay. So now that I've saved my profile, ah, okay, complete your profile. I need to upload, this is the problem. I need to upload license. So let's just find one picture and upload. Uh, let's upload our training picture. Just so it doesn't take time to upload. Okay, first one upload. Let's upload the second one. Yeah. So we need all this to verify your authenticity as a mechanic so that nobody just create. Although after this will come and do further check your workshop, do other stuff. Like if you want to register for both, you have to follow this procedure. Okay, now once I save profile and it has saved, now document are under review. So let's come here. Ah, okay, meaning I will have to approve it. So you give me a moment, let me approve this profile. Just give me a moment. So I will stop sharing my screen. I will come back once I've approved it. So I have to stop sharing my screen because I don't want you guys to see how we the admin approve. And we approve mechanics because there's a way we do approve it on our own end. So now let me look at the mechanics and approve them. So that account was not approved just now, but you'll see once I'm done for my admin, and let me assume I've looked at that account and I'm okay with that account. Okay. So now you should know that if you have not been approved, no customer can see you. No customer in our website can see you. Even though you create a mechanic profile, no customer can see you. But once you have been approved, now let me refresh this page. So once you have been approved, it will show you have been approved. You have been verified. So when you come here, you can see your dashboard. If a customer comes to you, you get it. You have even seen your notification. Your card have been approved. Now you can do other things. You can receive incoming order. You can. Now this is very important. This is the part I wanted us to come to. Work history. Now when you get here, what are we doing here? I fix a Toyota Corolla. I'm going to write this. Let's do brake part replacement every day, every work you do in your vehicle. Target, save it, especially for your clients that you have. This is also like a workshop management tool for keeping record. Customer name, John Okafor. And so vehicle, Toyota, Toyota Camry 2010. Of course, you want to add the money if you want to add 5,000. Let me assume that. Work description. We changed brake pads and coolant temperature sensor because brake pressure reduce due to sorry due to wear after a long time, and car was overheating due to coolant temperature not working properly. So one thing you have known, you have explained what you want. The custom field you can write. This is very important. Change, what do you call it? Millage. That's the millage that you perform this change. You can put 5. You check your dashboard. Sorry, I had to end that. I'm currently in the meeting. Let me message him. Help me to give me permission to message somebody. So you want to always add the millage that you perform every repair. Why do you need to add millage? So that you can know when after you perform repair, so that you can know what happened. Give me a moment.
I can't see your screen.
Okay, you can't see my screen. Let me reshare again. So, okay, let me look at this and share again. Oh, sorry, my screen went out. I think it was network. It was network. Let me share my screen again. So, very important that, can you see my screen now? I believe you can see it. So,
Yes.
after you have filled the job details, right? You are filling these job details. You must fill the mileage that you perform that repair. If it's 667.89 kilometers, drop it there. Do you know why? Do you know that almost all components in the vehicle, they have a specific mileage that it's liable to fail, or like your brake pad, they have a certain mileage you will drive, it should have been aware of. In fact, this can also help you to remind your customer. You can add another this thing like fault code present. You can add your value. All this data, fault code present during repairs is what you keep. So you now come and face all the fault code that were present during that repair. P0 T110. Just fill any all the fault codes. P T 0201. You know how you fill all these stuff now. So let me just do any random thing. If this is a fault code, you save. Now, when you save this data for this customer, you have gotten the data. So when you come and look at this data, right, you are going to see what they call it, what you did. You are going to see the mileage. And okay, I didn't add that other fourth code. You are going to also see the fourth code. Why are you monitoring the mileage? In fact, you can even know, uh, like, let me assume now, you can even monitor, okay, the intervals at which this um, fault reoccur again, and then know what is responsible. Either something is bad or something. So this mileage is also kind of a reference point, very important in referencing. There are some components you want to you fix after certain mileage, they may start to develop fault. So you can trace, okay, this component develop fault within this particular time. Now, this record keeping is not just for mechanics. We also recommend it for car owners. If you also open the also automotive app, the car owner and you are going to also see where they can keep maintenance record of their vehicle. Now, like I said earlier, this is very useful, especially when you are the one maintaining a particular customer's car. If I'm the mechanic maintaining this car, you have to keep this record. Imagine this record, it helps you to be able to guide, how will I put it now? It helps you for reporting, it helps you to be able to monitor a vehicle history. And when a fault comes out in that vehicle that you're operating, you already look at your history. Sometimes your brain can cover everything that you did. So that when the fault comes, when you look at your history, you now find similar things that you must have done that could be related, and you cannot check them at. So like I said earlier, if you're in America and you have been fixing your car in a dealership, when a fault happens, they are going to use your VIN and check all the repairs you have done, and they can use that as a reference. So this is what this work history does for you. You can add multiple history as much as you want. Also, you can also advise counters. If you go to the counters app, you also see, we call it mechanic history. It's just for them to save mechanic history. So another benefit you also have utilizing the app. So I will share another slide, which is back to the main slide for today. So sorry, just jumping up and down. So back to here, because we have very little time and I have to round up as soon as possible. So now, so that is the modern workshop troubleshooting workflow. So you check your maintenance history.
Okay, round up. How are we going to ask our question?
Okay, okay. Uh, okay. Let me let me round up. So that how many minutes I still remaining? Because okay, we still have 9 minutes. So let me just round up. So first of all, like I said, right, in assessing vehicle head, you need history, you need diagnostics report, all the stuff we did yesterday, diagnostics report, live data, and all that. And you also need repair history and fault symptoms. That's why you need to ask, like when it's just as a mechanic, you are basically a doctor for car. That's what you are, a doctor for car. If you go to the hospital, the doctor knows that if you are sick of malaria, the first thing to know if you really have malaria, what will the doctor do? The doctor will tell you to go and do malaria test. But even when the doctor knows he will tell you to go and do malaria test, the doctor is also going to ask you, how is your body? How are you feeling? What's the body temperature? You want to ask the user, you want to ask history. Like I said, I gave several scenarios that knowing what you have done before, repairs have been made on the vehicle can make you easily target a new fault. Then you want to keep records of maintenance issue, and then also talk about to generate good response for your customers and all that. So this is the modern troubleshooting workflow. So keeping history is very good. So if you add this to what we did yesterday, when you now review your history, not just live data, when you now review your history, imagine now prompting your AI the way those of you us that were yesterday. So you carry those live data, you carry the fourth symptoms, you carry the fourth code, and you add the history to such AI, and you send it that prompt, guess your answer will be more refined, more suited, and more better for a more insight for diagnostics. So that's what yeah, I will stop today because of time. So questions. If you have questions, kindly ask. I think someone was talking about questions.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah,
My name is Paul. So about the Asoro app which we talked about,
yeah,
we're talking about registration, and we also talk about um giving like detailing the things you do or you fix on the car. So my question here is the Asoro app.
yeah,
What is this? Is it like we everyone in this particular everyone in this group has their own workshop.
yeah.
So can you explain more of why we need to register on the Asoro app?
Okay. Thank you very much
That
for
is
that
my
question.
first,
Okay,
and that
continue.
is my
Yeah.
okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll ask one by one so we can understand.
Okay. Firstly, basically, the House Automotive app is not compulsory for anybody, or it's just so the basic function of the app is a place to find mechanic. Like you want to find a mechanic close to you, you just search on the for a car owner or for car owner they want to find mechanic just as you are looking for Uber, so they just go to the app, and then list of mechanics that work with us automotive shows, right? And then they can find those mechanics, contact them, and do that. So we that's for the car owner. But so we built the mechanic version where this mechanic can receive. Please, I will have to mute you now because of your mic. Once I'm done, you can ask your question because of the noise from it. Okay, I think you're muted. So they are the car owners. The car owners can access those mechanics. So the mechanic app is for the mechanic to receive orders. Now, what we did is this because it is not in our culture to keep data, to write information. So we added that feature to the app. So you don't need to be receiving orders to be able to use that feature, right? So you just create your account, register it. It's just like a store. But if you want to also receive orders from the app, you have to go through verification where we come to your workshop, inspect, onboard you, and all that stuff. That's another thing entirely. And currently, that one is just available in about 5 cities because those are the 5 cities we can monitor for now. So, but it's just for record keeping. If you want to write it manually on your book, why not? So, but if you want to use the app, you just go to the website or download the app on Play Store and start filling every day once you are done or once you are fixing any repair. I'm just telling you that keeping record is the future of diagnostics, right? Keeping record of a particular, especially when you know you are going to be working on this car consistently, you are the mechanic for that car, which is the case for a lot of our repairs in Nigeria, where customers or all over the world, customers have one mechanic for their car, and you can keep those records, and that will help you to um, keep record. But if you are working on the car for the first time and it's the case, please ask many questions. What was the previous repair? What repair have you done in this car? What something like that? Because you don't have the record, you can't remember everything. So you have to ask the owner, and hopefully you may get an insight from that. So your next question, please. You can mute yourself and talk.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So the other question is I think the calls will round up now in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah.
The other question, let me ask it at the time. The other question is, um, the actually, it's not a question though, but I just want to know why do you why do you like ask that we should note what we fix on the car, and what is your own take from it? Because you can't just create app and people will benefit from it without you having your own take. Hope you are
Okay.
getting it.
Okay, my benefit is very
Hello?
simple. Yeah, I've heard you. My benefit is very
Hello?
simple. I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me? I can hear you. All right. So I
I
think,
can hear you.
yeah, what will happen? I will answer your question on the group chat. So I'm going to drop an answer to your question because this call is ending. I think maybe let's just do 30 minutes voice call on the group chat. So I will just answer, let's say a few minutes, 15 minutes. I will answer all the questions there, and then I will give the next step, and I'll also type them also so that others can read. So I will answer your next question there. But just to clarify, our only gain is when customers use our application, we make money from them, not from you, the mechanic. So it's not your what they call it. It's not your mechanic. What they call it, we make money from, not your mechanic work charge, your charge, but we make money from other products. Okay. Hello. Okay. Hello. I don't know if you can hear me. Okay. Hello. Just to answer the question, I don't know. The person who answered the question is the person here now. Or I want to know so that I can quickly answer that. Um, just are you here?